score at the end would not define him, but it would open a chamber of knowing that had been sealed for decades. The results loaded. Your responses indicate you show strong autistic traits, consistent with the spectrum profile. This is not a diagnosis, but a guide to further exploration. I stared at the screen until the words blurred. For the first time in my life, I didn't feel broken. I felt decoded. Somewhere deep in the library, a book fell from a shelf with a soft thud, and I knew it was for me. RP Radio Donate Today, Cash App Rap Palace 214, Chapter 4. Result: Spectrum of Light 6. The results sat on the screen like a sunrise I didn't know I was waiting for. Positive indicators for autism. For a moment, the air thinned, and the hum of the library's fluorescent lights became sharper, almost melodic. My hands tingled not from fear, but from the strange weight of confirmation. I've been carrying this unnamed shape my entire life. Now it had a name. Shock rippled through me, not the kind that makes you stumble, but the kind that freezes you in still water. My thoughts stacked in layers, so this is why I notice the hum in a light bulb before it burns out. This is why the air in a crowded room feels like static. This is why silence feels like oxygen, and beneath the shock, relief. Like someone had finally unlocked the door I'd been leaning against for years. RP Radio Donate Today, Cash App Rap Palace 2414. The light library pulsed faintly in its shelves, the shadows curling inward as though listening. There are moments in a soul's journey when a truth doesn't just change a person, it rewrites their map entirely. Gregory's awareness had been a constellation scattered in the dark. Now the lines between stars began to form. It was not a label, it was a lens. Through it, Gregory would see patterns more clearly, threads more vividly, and himself fully. I exhaled. The sound came out shaky, but it carried decades of tension with it. The page suggested follow-up steps, professional evaluations, communities. My eyes skimmed them, but my heart was somewhere else, in the quiet corners of my life where I had always felt too much or not enough, realizing now I had been perfectly aligned all along. 7. Something inside me whispered, this is not the end. This is the opening. I minimized the browser. I still had books to shelve, but I moved differently now, like every step was part of a path I had been walking blind until today. Somewhere beyond the shelves, a faint golden light flickered. The library was not done with me yet. RP Radio Donate Today, Cash App Rap Palace 214, Chapter 5. The universe nods. The sound wasn't loud, just a crisp thump in the quiet. But in the library, where every sound had its place, it felt like a signal. I turned my head toward the source. A book lay on the floor near the far wall, splayed open like it had been caught mid-breath. I knew the top shelf it had fallen from, the rare and restricted section. Those books didn't just fall. Walking over, I bent down and froze. The open page was titled in gilded script, Silent Seers, Navigators of the Unseen. The words seemed to glow slightly in the lamplight. My fingers hovered over the page, hesitant, almost reverent. My pulse ticked in my ears. RP Radio Donate Today, Cash App Rap Palace 214. It was not gravity that pulled the book from the shelf. The shelves of the light library were tuned to timelines, each spine a beacon, each page a mirror. Some books waited decades for the right hands. Others fell the moment the reader's inner frequency aligned. Gregory's frequency had shifted. The book responded. The term silent seer was more than description. It was initiation. A role soul recognized by the unseen architecture of the universe, where vision did not come from noise, but from stillness honed to a blade. RP Radio Donate today, Cash App Rap Palace 214. I crouched beside the book and read. The silent seers move quietly through the world, observing without seeking attention. Their strength is not in volume, but in vision. They stand at the intersection of deep empathy and precise detachment, seeing patterns invisible to others. My chest tightened. This wasn't just accurate, it was intimate, like the text knew me. A sentence near the bottom hooked me completely. When the seer accepts their gift, the path unfolds through symbols, shadows, and sudden knowing. I closed my eyes. For a moment, I felt like the library itself was breathing with me. When I opened them, a faint indigo light pulsed between the lines of text, as if the page itself was alive. Chapter 6, Symbols in the Margins. RP Radio Donate today, Cash App, Rap Palace 214-9. At first glance, they looked like random pen marks, faint curves, and angular strokes tucked between the printed lines. But when I leaned closer, I realized they were deliberate. Every symbol seemed placed with intent, like constellations on a page. Some were small spirals. Others resembled doorways or eyes drawn in a single stroke. The ink was faded to a sepia tone, as though it had been there far longer than the book's printed text. My fingers traced one symbol, a narrow triangle split in half by a line. The moment my skin brushed it, a warmth pulsed into my fingertips, like static but gentler. My vision blurred, and for a fraction of a second, I saw the library differently, the air dense with faint threads of light connecting shelves to shelves, books to books, as if the whole place was a living map. RP Radio Donate today, Cash App Rap Palace 214. These were not idle doodles. The symbols belonged to the Sigma glyphs, an ancient visual language left by earlier silent seers who had walked the path before. Each glyph was a fragment of instruction, an encoded whisper from one mind to another across time. The book had chosen Gregory, but the glyphs were guiding him. The warmth he felt was the page recognizing his frequency, unlocking a layer of perception usually hidden from human sight. Once seen, the threads would always be there, faint but constant, pathways for those who could navigate both the visible and invisible worlds. RP Radio Donate today, Cash App, Rap Palace 214. I blinked and the vision softened, fading back to the familiar view of paper and print. But the symbols no longer looked abstract. They had weight, direction, meaning I didn't yet know, but could feel pressing against the edges of my understanding. One spiral in the corner drew me in most. Beside it, in handwriting so small I almost missed it, was a note, 10. When the spiral opens, so does the next door. I shut the book gently and held it against my chest. The librarian in me wanted to log it properly. The seeker in me knew I had just been handed a key. And somewhere in the quiet spaces between shelves, the library itself seemed to hum, waiting for me to turn it. RP Radio Donate today, Cash App Rap Palace 21411. Professor Rap presents Yumio Neo, the Network of Elevation by RP Radio Chapter 1. The digital hub awakens. The lights of the city flickered, not from power lines, but from the restless energy of people, dreamers, workers, creators, hustlers, and neighbors, all searching for connection. Professor Rap adjusted his glasses, tapped the mic, and leaned in like he was about to reveal the secret formula hidden in plain sight. "Class," he said, his voice carrying the rhythm of a street preacher and the wisdom of a business sage. "The world has shifted. We don't live in isolated corners anymore. The true wealth, it ain't just cash, it's community. And let me introduce you to the hub where community meets business and business meets opportunity. Welcome to UMIO Network." The projector behind him flickered to life. Images rolled across the screen. Families at kitchen tables, students huddled over laptops, small business owners unlocking storefronts, young artists recording tracks in home studios. "Look close," Professor Rapp continued, pacing the room with a grin. "What do you see? Residents supporting businesses. Businesses supporting residents. A circle, a cycle, a rhythm. That's the heartbeat of UMIO." He snapped his fingers and the slide changed to bold letters. "Your digital hub for community and business." "Let me make it plain," he said. "This ain't just a website, it's a movement. Inside UMIO, you don't just scroll, you build. You don't just like posts, you earn opportunities. You don't just consume, you create and you elevate." The audience leaned forward. Students whispered to each other. A local barber raised his brow. A cafe owner crossed her arms but couldn't help smiling. Professor Rapp clapped his hands once, sharp as a snare hit. "Think of it like this. The neighborhood block party got upgraded. Instead of only food and music, now there are prizes, job listings, digital services, podcasts, radio shows, and 30-plus hubs, all connected, all working together. Whether you're a lawyer, a doctor, an influencer, a high school student, or a local restaurant, you got a seat at this table." He pointed to the QR code on the flyer, holding it up like a key to a locked door. "Every movement starts with a step. And your step, it's simple. Sign up. Because UMIO ain't asking you to just join. UMIO is asking you to belong. When you belong, you don't just benefit, you give back." And together we rise. The room pulsed with applause. Not loud at first, but steady, growing, like a drumbeat swelling into a march. Professor Rapp raised his hand, quieting the noise. His tone softened almost a whisper. "This is just chapter 1. The awakening. But stick with me because I'm about to show you chapter by chapter how this network transforms lives. And by the time we reach the final page, you won't just understand UMIO. You'll be inside it, living it, elevating with it." He leaned into the mic one last time. "Class dismissed, but your journey with UMIO has only begun." Chapter 2. The promise of Neo. Professor Rapp stood at the front of the hall again, chalk in one hand and energy in the other. Behind him, 3 words stretched across the board in bold electric strokes. Earn. Create. Elevate. He tapped the chalk against the first word, earn. "Class, let me break it down for you. Too many platforms out there want you to give your time, your data, your dollars, without ever giving back. But UMIO, it's different. Here, earning ain't a bonus, it's baked in the system. Every week, $5,500 in prizes. Every month, a $20,000 video contest. That means while you scroll, post, or participate, you got a chance to walk away with more than just likes. You walk away with something real." A student in the front row raised her hand. "Professor Rapp, you mean people actually get paid?" Professor Rapp grinned, adjusting his body. "Paid, recognized, elevated. You put in your energy, UMIO gives it back. That's the earn." He circled the second word with a flourish, create. "Now this one right here, this is where your soul breathes. UMIO gives you the staged podcast radio slots, TV dish, Roku, and Amazon Fire, Apple TV. 30 plus hubs waiting for your talent, lawyers, doctors, musicians, students, creators. Don't just watch content, make it. Don't just dream, stream it. With UMYO, creation ain't confined to a notebook or a bedroom mic. Your vision can hit the airwaves, reach your city, and circle the globe. The projector lit up with images of young podcasters in headphones, DJs behind turntables, business leaders giving interviews, and students hosting live streams. Professor Rapp snapped his fingers. Snap. That's create. He drew an arrow pointing upward to the third word. Elevate. This is the climb. You don't stay where you started. Every connection, every hub, every collaboration is designed to lift you higher. Businesses grow because residents support them. Residents grow because businesses give back. Students elevate into leaders, creators into entrepreneurs, dreamers into doers. UMIO ain't just a platform, it's a ladder. And the rungs, they're made of community. The room hushed. You could almost hear the promise hanging in the air like a sacred chord. Professor Rapp set the chalk down, his eyes glinting. Neo means new, a new way to build, a new way to rise, a new way to live in rhythm with others. Earn, create, elevate. That's not just a motto. That's your mission when you step into UMIO. He leaned forward, palms pressed on the desk, his voice dropping low like a secret. And when you sign up, you ain't just signing into a website. You're stepping into your next level. The promise of NEO is the promise of you becoming more than you ever thought you could be. The audience erupted, this time no hesitation. Cheering, clapping, nodding heads. Professor Rapp smiled knowingly. That's the sound of elevation. RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Cash App, Rap Palace 214, Chapter 3. The power of hubs. The projector screen flickered off. This time, Professor Rapp didn't stay at the podium. He motioned for the crowd to follow him. Class, today we're taking a field trip. No buses, no backpacks, just imagination. Step with me into the UMIO hubs, where every community has a home and every profession has a voice. The walls of the lecture hall dissolved like smoke, and suddenly the audience found themselves standing in a glowing digital plaza. Bright pathways stretched in every direction, each marked by a sign glowing with a name. Lawyers, doctors, entrepreneurs, restaurants, students, creators, and beyond dozens more. Professor Rapp spread his arms wide. Welcome to the 30 hubs of UMIO. Each one is a village, a network inside the network. Alone they shine, together they blaze. He led them first to a hub lined with tall books and court gavels. Here, he said, the lawyer's hub. Attorneys, paralegals, and legal minds connecting with those who need counsel. You don't just search for answers, you find advocates ready to support you. The scene shifted to clean white halls filled with the smell of herbs and the hum of machines. Doctors greeted patients with warm smiles. The Doctors and Health Hub. Wellness, fitness, nutrition, mental health, every strand of healing woven into one space. Residents gain guidance, professionals gain visibility, lives improve. He snapped his fingers, and the tour spilled into a bustling street market. Food sizzled, music played, waiters carried plates piled high with tacos, pho, and BBQ. Hungry, The restaurant's hub feeds both stomachs and businesses. Chefs connect with customers, and customers turn into community regulars. That's support, seasoned and served hot. Next, the plaza shifted into classrooms buzzing with young energy, high schoolers on laptops, college students rehearsing presentations, mentors guiding interns, the students' hub. High schoolers, college kids, and graduates stepping into opportunity, jobs, internships, ambassador programs. It's the training ground where the next generation learns to rise. Finally, the air filled with the sound of music and laughter. Creators held cameras, podcasters leaned into mics, dancers filmed routines under bright lights. And of course, the Creators Hub. Content makers, influencers, dreamers. They don't just entertain, they inspire. And here they find sponsorships, collaborations, and distribution to platforms beyond their wildest reach. The audience looked around, wide-eyed, but Professor Rapp wasn't finished. He gestured to the connecting bridges between each hub, glowing golden pathways, weaving them all together. Here's the secret, class. The power isn't just in the hubs, it's in the connections between them. A doctor collabs with a podcaster to host a health talk. A lawyer partners with a student journalist to explain new laws. A restaurant teams up with a creator for a food review video. Each hub strengthens the other. He pointed upward, where the pathways merged into a single radiant network above them. That's UMYO. Not isolated silos, but one living, breathing ecosystem. A digital city built on collaboration. And the more of us that join, the stronger every hub becomes. The walls of the plaza shimmered and faded, returning everyone to the classroom. The audience sat in stunned silence, as if they'd walked through another world. Professor Rapp grinned, and that was just the tour. Wait until you see what each platform inside those hubs can do for you. He tapped the board, writing the words for the next lesson. Chapter 4, Platforms in Your Pocket. RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment. Share this with others and subscribe for more content. Cash App, Rap Palace 214, Chapter 4. Platforms in Your Pocket. Professor Rapp leaned against the desk, tapping his phone like it was a treasure chest only he knew how to unlock. All right, class, he said, voice smooth as velvet. You've walked through the hubs. You've seen the neighborhoods, the restaurants, the creators, the students. But what good is a hub without tools? What good is a vision without a stage? That's why UMYO ain't just giving you space, it's loading your pocket with platforms. 20 plus to be exact. And every single one is designed to make you shine. He held his phone up high. The screen glowed, and suddenly holographic icons filled the air above the classroom. First up, he said, pointing to a glowing mic icon, podcast. You got a voice? Here's your megaphone. Weekly shows, talk radio, niche conversations, all broadcast and distributed across Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and 300 plus radio stations. That means your voice isn't stuck in your living room. It's coast to coast. The mic spun, transforming into a play button surrounded by lights. Live podcasts and media streams. Go live, go bold, go global. Interview a doctor in one hub. Stream it to creators in another. Let the whole network tune in. Your story becomes a broadcast. Next, a glowing note icon floated forward, vibrating with rhythm. Music distribution. Independent artists, listen close. UMO puts your tracks into playlists, streams, and digital spaces where fans discover you. No waiting on a record deal. No praying for a label call. Just drop it, distribute it, and let the world press play. Then a golden ticket appeared, spinning like a coin. Giveaways and contests. Remember what I said? Every week, $5,500 in prizes. Every month, $20,000 for the best video content. Creativity isn't just recognized here, it's rewarded. Think about it. Your hustle could pay the rent, buy new equipment, or fund your next big project. One by one, more icons lit up the room. A handshake for business collaboration tools. A graduation cap for online learning. A shopping cart for digital business cards and marketplaces. A megaphone for community announcements. A heart for family support programs. Professor Rapp walked under the glow of icons like he was in a digital cathedral. Here's the truth, class. Platforms like these, they're usually scattered, expensive, locked behind gatekeepers. But UMIO puts them all in one place, inside your hub, inside your network, inside your pocket. That means you can run a podcast, launch a business, share your music, and enter contests, all from the same platform that's built to support you. The holograms dimmed, but the excitement in the room stayed lit. Professor Rapp leaned in close, his voice dropping to a near whisper. You see what's happening here? UMIO ain't just a network, it's an arsenal. And when you sign up, those 20 platforms, they're your tools, your stage, your ladder, your mic. He smiled, sliding the phone back into his pocket. And this, my friends, is just the toolbox. In our next chapter, I'm going to take you into the arena, the contests, the prizes, the thrill of turning creativity into reward. Welcome to the contest arena, our P Radio. Love the content, drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Cash App Rap Palace 214, Chapter 6, Student Pathways to Success. Professor Rapp strolled back to the podium, but this time he wasn't holding chalk or tickets. Instead, he carried a backpack slung over his shoulder, worn and patched like it had traveled through every classroom, library, and dorm across the nation. Class, he began, setting the backpack down gently. Success doesn't wait for diplomas. It doesn't hide in the back of the lecture hall. Success moves with the students who seize opportunity while they learn. That's why UMIO created clear pathways for students. Today I'm going to show you how it works. The projector flashed to life. A high school senior appeared on the screen, headphones around his neck, typing furiously on his laptop. This young brother, he's part of UMIO's high school ambassador program. Instead of waiting for college to open doors, he's learning marketing, networking, and event promotion now. His hustle spreads UMIO to classmates, earns him recognition, and drops a check in his pocket every month. The image faded, replaced by a college student handing out flyers on campus. Here's the University Ambassador Program. Paid positions, real marketing campaigns. Students don't just rep their school, they rep themselves, building resumes that outshine the rest. Ambassadors run campus events, manage digital content, and network with local businesses. That's learning and earning rolled into one. He clicked again. This time the screen showed a student in a virtual meeting, her face glowing as she spoke to mentors on the other side of the call. Then there's the HBCU internships and student jobs. Partnerships with historically black colleges and universities, alongside other campuses nationwide, give students access to internships that actually pay. Amayo don't play with unpaid labor. Here you put in work, you get compensated. Period. Professor Rapp's voice grew more personal. When I look at these students, I see bridges being built. Bridges that connect the classroom to the boardroom, the dorm room to the dream job. UMIO makes sure no one's standing at the edge of opportunity wondering how to cross. He zipped open the backpack on his desk and pulled out 3 items: a notebook, a microphone, and a business card. He held them up one by one. Notebook. That's your learning. Microphone. That's your voice. Business card. That's your connection. UMIO hands these to students through jobs, internships, and ambassador programs so they can walk into the real world prepared, not panicked. The audience of young faces glowed with hope. For once, their questions weren't about student loans or rent, they were about possibility. Professor Rapp closed the backpack, slinging it back over his shoulder with a knowing smile. Class, let me put it plain. UMIO student pathways aren't promises, they're practice. They're proof that your grind can turn into growth before you even walk that stage at graduation. And when you step in this network, you step into success. He tapped the board, and the words for the next lesson appeared in bold letters. Chapter 7, The Creative Lab, RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Cash App Rap Palace 214 Chapter 7. The Creative Lab Professor Rapp dimmed the lights again. But this time the room didn't transform into an arena or a plaza. Instead, a single spotlight shined down on a sleek workstation. Cameras on tripods, ring lights glowing, laptops humming, a wall covered with digital business cards. It looked less like a classroom and more like a production studio. Class, he said, voice steady with purpose. Every movement, every brand, every creator needs a lab. Not the kind with test tubes and beakers, the kind with tools to make your vision real. That's why UMIO built the Creative Lab. This is where ideas get polished, businesses get branded, and creators go from local to global. He picked up one of the glowing business cards from the wall. First stop, digital business cards. Forget paper that gets tossed in the trash. These live online, clickable, shareable. One tap and your contact info, your socials, your portfolio, all of it lands directly in somebody's phone. Networking in the 21st century starts here. He slid the card back into place and tapped the camera. Next, video production. You've got a product? UMIO helps you put it on screen. Commercials, promos, short films, ads, it's all here. You don't have to know Hollywood editors or beg a cousin to borrow their camera. UMIO gives you the crew, the editing, the polish. You bring the vision, they bring the shine. The screen behind him flickered with examples. An entrepreneur showing off their clothing line in a slick promo. A local cafe running an ad that looks straight off television. An artist cutting a music video sharper than anything they'd ever dreamed. And it doesn't stop there, Professor Rapp said, pacing the room. Editing ads, SEO, websites, funnels. You think that's just tech jargon? No. That's the language of growth. He ticked them off on his fingers. Editing makes raw footage into stories people can't ignore. Ads put your message in front of the right eyes at the right time. SEO, search and optimization, Make sure you don't get lost in the digital noise. When people search, they find you. Websites, that's your headquarters. Your storefront, your office, your handshake. Oh builds it sleek, smart, and mobile ready. Funnels, now that's where the magic happens. Step-by-step systems that guide your audience from curious clickers to paying clients. Funnel and start attracting them. The room buzzed with energy, like students realizing they'd just been handed the blueprint to digital success. Professor Rapp raised his hands like a conductor. All of these pieces, when they work together, that's your brand symphony. The Creative Lab is your orchestra pit, and Umayo is the maestro making sure every instrument hits the right note. He leaned closer, his glasses catching the light. Here's the truth, talent alone don't cut it. Hustle without tools leads to burnout, but hustle with tools. Hustle with a lab, that's how you build legacy. He pointed at the glowing UMYO logo on the wall. Every lab needs a scientist, and when you sign up, that scientist is you. Umio just gives you the gear to turn sparks into fire, and fire into a movement. The screen went black, but the energy stayed lit, pulsing like the glow of a neon sign in the back of the mind. Professor Rapp turned to the chalkboard and scrawled the words for the next lesson. Chapter 8, the podcast and radio wave. RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Cash App Rap Palace 214, Chapter 8, the podcast and radio wave. The classroom doors creaked open, not into a hallway, but into a recording studio glowing with red and blue lights. Microphones dangled from silver arms, soundproof panels lined the walls, and a glass booth hummed with the quiet static of airwaves waiting to be filled. Professor Rapp waved his class inside. Welcome, welcome. Today, you don't just learn about media, you step inside it. This is the podcast and radio wave of UMYO, where voices become brands, and brands become broadcast empires. He pulled up a chair to the mic and leaned in. The red on-air light blinked to life above him. Class, he said, his voice carrying through invisible speakers. When you join UMYO, you don't just get a platform, you get distribution. You could record a 30-minute show, and by the end of the week, it's not just on your page. It's on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and over 300 radio stations. That means your story, your interview, your music, your message, it doesn't stay small. It travels. The studio walls shifted, revealing screens showing creators at work. One screen showed a young woman in headphones, hosting a talk on wellness. Her show streamed live on Roku. Another screen revealed a college student podcasting about sports. His voice broadcast to 300 radio affiliates. A third screen showed an entrepreneur interviewing a restaurant owner, their segment appearing on Apple TV and Fire TV menus. Professor Rapp gestured to the glowing wall of screens. This right here is the wave. Once upon a time you needed connections, money, or a miracle to get on TV or radio. Now Umayo puts the broadcast tower in your hands, from your living room to living rooms across the nation. He snapped his fingers and a holographic chart floated in the middle of the room. It showed a podcast growing from 10 listeners to 10,000. That's the difference between posting and broadcasting. Posting is a drop of water in the ocean. Broadcasting is a wave that moves the tide. A student raised his hand. Professor Rapp, can anybody really start? Even if they've never touched a mic before. Professor Rapp grinned. Anybody. UMYO don't gatekeep. You could be a rookie podcaster or a seasoned DJ. If you've got a voice, UMYO has a channel. And the creative lab we talked about last chapter, that's your production team, making sure your sound and visuals hit professional levels. All you gotta do is step to the mic. The class looked around, half in awe, half in excitement, like they were ready to hit record right then and there. Professor Rapp's tone softened, almost like he was passing down a family heirloom. Your story matters, your voice matters. And in this age of noise, the ones who rise are the ones who broadcast. That's what UMYO offers, a stage so wide your voice echoes far beyond your block. The on-air light faded, and the studio returned to quiet. Professor Rapp set the mic down gently and wrote on the board, his letters bold and sharp, Chapter 9, Support System Strong. And Chapter 9, Support System Strong. The classroom was quiet this time. No holograms, no flashing lights, no booming beats. Just the steady presence of Professor Rapp at the center, hands folded like he was about to share something sacred. Class, he began softly. We've talked about the hubs, the contests, the podcasts, the labs. All powerful. But none of it means a thing without support. That's the foundation of UMYO. That's the glue that keeps this network alive. He drew a simple circle on the board. Inside, he wrote, residents, businesses, families, community. This is the rhythm, he said, tapping the chalk in a steady beat. Residents support businesses. Businesses support residents. Families uplift one another. Communities grow stronger. And round it goes, a cycle of giving and receiving that never breaks, because UMYO holds it together. The projector flickered on, showing snapshots of members in action. A restaurant owner offering discounts to local families through the platform. A group of parents pooling resources to sponsor a student's entry into the monthly video contest. A podcaster raising awareness for a local health clinic, bringing patients to their door. A small business owner winning a giveaway, then using the prize money to hire from the student hub. Professor Rapp smiled at the images. This is what makes UMYO unique. It ain't just about personal gain, it's about community gain. You win, we all win. You grow, we all grow. Support ain't charity. It's an investment that pays back tenfold. He looked around the room, eyes locking with each student as if speaking directly to them. Maybe you're a parent working 2 jobs, worried about your kid's future. Maybe you're a student juggling classes and bills. Maybe you're a small business owner fighting to keep your doors open. UMYO is built to remind you you're not alone. You've got a network at your back. The chalk tapped the circle again. Tap, tap, tap. This class is the heartbeat. And every time someone signs up, every time someone shares their story, every time someone enters a giveaway, hosts a show, or joins a hub, that heartbeat gets stronger. Together, we're not just surviving. We're elevating. The silence in the room was heavy, but not empty. It carried weight, the weight of realization, of possibility. Professor Rapp capped his marker and let out a slow breath. That's why I call this chapter Support System Strong. Because in UMYO, strength ain't about standing alone. It's about standing together. He turned to the board one last time and wrote in bold final letters for the day's lesson. Chapter 10, The Call to Action. Sign up today. Professor Rapp stood tall at the front of the classroom. No holograms, no props, no flashy tech this time. Just him, the chalkboard, and a fire in his eyes that made the whole room lean forward. "Class," he began, his voice steady but building like a rising drum beat. "We've walked through the hubs. We've opened the toolbox of platforms. We've stepped into contest arena, felt the power of student pathways, toured the creative lab, and heard the echo of the podcast and radio wave. We've seen families supported, businesses lifted, and communities strengthened." He paused, letting the silence settle. Then, with a sharp clap, his energy surged. "But all of it, means nothing unless you take the step. The first step. The only step that matters, joining the UMIO family." He picked up a piece of chalk and wrote in huge letters on the board, $5.59. That's it. That's all it takes. For as little as $5.59 a month, you're not just subscribing, you're investing. In your growth, in your business, in your family, in your community. You're unlocking weekly giveaways of $5,500, monthly contests worth $20,000, jobs, internships, creative labs, podcasts, radio shows, and 30-plus hubs filled with people just like you, ready to build, ready to elevate. His voice rose, filling the room like a sermon. You spend more than that on a fast food meal. You spend more than that on a cup of coffee. But this $5.59, it's not an expense, it's a seed. And seeds, when planted in the right soil, grow into forests. UMIO is that soil. He paced the room, eyes locking with each face, his words landing heavy and sharp. "Don't tell me you're waiting until tomorrow. Tomorrow ain't promised. Don't tell me you'll think about it. Opportunity doesn't wait. Don't tell me you'll watch from the sidelines while others step into the arena. Because one truth remains. If you don't sign up, you'll never know what elevation feels like." The chalk hit the board one final time as he wrote the last word, elevate. Professor Rapp turned back to the class, his voice dropping into a powerful whisper. This is your moment, your call to action. Join UMIO today. Step into the hubs, claim your place, and build a future worth living. Don't just scroll life away. Sign up, show up, and rise up. The room erupted with applause. Some students stood, others wiped tears, all of them moved by the truth ringing in his words. Professor Rapp raised his fist high, sealing the lesson with one final declaration. For $5.59 a month, you can earn, create, elevate. Don't just dream it, live it. Welcome to UMIO. The spotlight dimmed. The chalkboard glowed faintly in the dark, the word elevate shining like a promise that could no longer be ignored. RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Cash App Palace 214 AmionNetwork.com. Rap Palace is now. Don't just watch, be the change. Donate Rap Palace 214 UMIO military site. Rap Palace Rising behind the mic. Evil Insights, Donation Rap interviews the Evil Rap family. The viewers wanted more. An inside look at the minds of the Evil Rap family. Donation Rap took the challenge, sitting down with Twilight Zone Rap, Dark Ember Rap, Frieza Rap, and other family members, asking the questions fans have been dying to hear. Here's what went down, scene by scene, with real viewer testimonials showing how even the darkest journeys inspired growth. Rap Palace is now. Don't just watch, be the change. Donate. Rap Palace 214 military site. Rap Palace Rising Twilight Zone Rap, the master of chaos. The lights dim. Twilight Zone Rap's aura ripples like a distorted mirror. Donation Rap. Twilight Zone. Viewers want to know, how do you maintain your power while staying true to your shadow? Twilight Zone rap. Power is nothing without understanding. People see our chaos and think it's destructive, but it teaches them balance. Many viewers recognize their pride, resentment, and fear in us, and said it motivated them to heal. Viewer testimonials. Liam S., 26, Berlin, Germany. I confronted toxic friendships after seeing Twilight Zone on rap's arrogance and manipulation. I cut out what wasn't serving me. Isabella M., 33, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. His story made me reflect on consequences before reacting emotionally. It changed how I handle conflict. Omar A., 28, Dubai, UAE. I realized ambition without balance harmed relationships. Twilight Zone rap's journey warned me. Hana K., 24, Seoul, South Korea. I started journaling my shadow traits after watching his manipulation unfold. It's been life-changing. Step into your shadow, donate now, and unlock exclusive insights. Rap Palace is now don't just watch, be the change. Donate Rap Palace 214 Umio military site. Rap Palace Rising Dark Ember Rap. The strategist Dark Ember Rap leans back, eyes glowing, calculating every word. Donation Rap. Dark Ember. Viewers want to know. How do you stay strategic while facing internal conflict? Dark Ember Rap. Strategy comes from observing patterns, both external and internal. Our mistakes became lessons. Viewers saw themselves in our greed and resistance, learning to navigate life with foresight. Viewer testimonials. Emir An, 29, Cairo, Egypt. Watching Dark Ember Rap plan and fail taught me to plan my finances better and avoid impulsive decisions. Diego F. 33, Buenos Aires, Argentina. I realized overthinking can be both good and bad. I started journaling strategies for daily life inspired by Dark Ember. Hiroshi Y, 29, Tokyo, Japan. I saw how misaligned priorities can backfire. Now I prioritize mental health over overachievement. Leela S., 25, Casablanca, Morocco. I learned to stay calm under pressure, seeing Dark Ember balance ambition with reflection. Unlock your inner strategist. Support the rap universe today. Rap Palace is now. Don't just watch, be the change. Donate Rap Palace 214 Umio military site. Rap Palace Rising Frieza Rap. The secret influence Frieza Rap smirks. His presence subtle but commanding. Donation Rap. Frieza, viewers want to know. How do you influence others without them realizing it? Frieza Rap. Influence comes from understanding needs and weaknesses. Many viewers recognized subtle manipulation in their own lives and corrected it. Sometimes, seeing what not to do is the strongest lesson. Viewer testimonials. Ethan W., 30, Vancouver, Canada. I noticed manipulation in my workplace after watching Frieza Rap. I set boundaries and avoided burnout. Maya L., 23, Sydney, Australia. His subtle tactics helped me reflect on toxic engage safely. Rafael T., 34, Lisbon, Portugal. I realized influence isn't always bad, it can be for good. I started mentoring younger colleagues positively. Chloe B., 27, Toronto, Ontario, Canada. I became aware of hidden manipulation at school and corrected how I handle peer pressure. Learn the power of influence. Donate and explore the secrets of the rap universe. Rap Palace is now. Don't just watch, be the change. Donate Rap Palace 214 Umio Military Rap Palace Rising Umbra Rap. The Dark Intellect Umbra Rap. A newer evil rap family member folds their arms, exuding quiet menace. Donation Rap. Umbra. Viewers are asking, how do you balance intellect with emotion when pursuing goals? Umbra Rap. Balance balance comes from reflection. Viewers saw their own overanalysis mirrored in me and learned that intellect without emotional awareness leads to failure. Viewer testimonials. Fatima R., 25, Casablanca, Morocco. I was overthinking every decision. Seeing Umbra Rap's failures taught me to trust my intuition. Tariq H., 31, Lahore, Pakistan. I started balancing logic and emotion in leadership roles inspired by Umbra. Carlos M., 36, Madrid, Spain. I realized intellect without empathy isolates people. I started leading with care. Nika O., 31, Johannesburg, South Africa. I learned to pause, reflect, and act intentionally after watching Umbra strategize. Sharpen your mind and heart. Donate to unlock Umbra Rap's secret insights. Rap Palace is now. Don't just watch, be the change. Donate Rap Palace 214 Umeo military site. Rap Palace Rising closing reflections with the Evil Rap Family donation wrap. Alright family, viewers want to know, can darkness coexist with light? Twilight Zone Rap. Without darkness, light has no definition. Observing both sides teaches balance. Dark Ember Rap. Mistakes illuminate what viewers need to improve in their own lives. Frieza Rap. Influence, strategy, and shadow all have lessons if applied positively. Viewer highlights. Caden H., 19, New York City, New York, USA. I embraced my flaws while pursuing growth thanks to the Evil Rap Family. Amelia F., 28, Paris, France. I learned resilience and strategy by observing both tribe and evil family. Ahmed S., 29, Cairo, Egypt. Balance, focus, and self-reflection became daily habits after these stories. Isabella Ann, 31, Milan, Italy. I reflected on past mistakes and set actionable goals for self-improvement. Step into your power, donate, unlock behind-the-scenes access, and learn from both light and dark. Rap Palace is now. Don't just watch, be the change. Donate Rap Palace 214 Umeo military site. Rap Palace Rising. Chapter 1. They pushed me. The Rap Palace didn't open like a door. It parted like lips about to spit a truth. Marble ribs arched into a throat of vaulted gold, and sound lived there, breathing, waiting, half asleep, like a lion that knew the sun would come to it. Floor tiles shimmered as if pressed from old vinyl. Each one held a trapped groove. Torches along the colonnade burned without fire, their flames made of waveforms rising and falling in soft blue decibels. Every pillar had a pulse, every shadow had a tempo. In here, emotions didn't hide inside chests. They walked. Anonymous Cherry stood on the threshold, palms open, a thin scar of midnight under his eyes from nights spent wrestling with a city that wrote his name into rumor. Whispers had followed him to the palace like stray dogs. Some called him shameless, some called him cold. More than a few said he didn't care at all anymore. He stepped forward. The first tile clicked under his heel snare. The second tile kicked. The third hi-hat. The palace caught his pace and folded it into a beat that belonged to him. From the high balcony, Watchman Rap leaned on a halberd made of metronomes and surveyed the newcomer. "State your verse," the guard intoned, voice like a slow cymbal swell. "I'm here to make room for my truth," Anonymous said, not loud, but the walls carried it like a secret that wanted out. "Then the palace will test you," Watchman Rap replied. "We only keep what can keep time." The great hall opened, a cathedral-sized cipher. In its center, a stage rose from the floor like a record lifting from a sleeve. Around it, benches curved in crescents, and those benches were already filled. They came his names with legs. Anger Rap in a jacket stitched with red waveforms. Joy bright as a choir. Fear Rap thin, eyes like keyholes. Love Rap barefoot, ankles jangling with silver bells of harmony. Guilt Rap dragging a chain of minor chords. Forgiveness Rap carrying bolt cutters made of light. An onyx circle beside the stage rippled as if it were water. From it, Whisper Rap climbed up, a swarm of translucent mouths with no faces, talking over one another in gorgeous, poisonous, multi-track harmony. Did you hear? He doesn't care, he went numb. Digi-af, digi-af. The word echoed again, then multiplied until the rafters shook with it, turning judgment into chant. Division Rap cracked his knuckles and smirked. Jim Rap licked a dry lip. Anonymous's jaw tightened. I'm not numb, he said. Whisper Rap rolled its 1,000 unseen eyes. They pushed you, boy, it thrummed. Now you wear frost like a medal. Before Anonymous could answer, the stage thumped once, a heartbeat the size of a moon. The torches dropped into a lower register. The room's oxygen grew heavy and tasted like brass. On the second thump, fissures spidered across the vinyl floor, and a figure rose out of them slow as a confession. He was tall and rope-muscled, hair a halo of clipped faders. His coat looked welded from crowd control barriers. Across his knuckles, pushed on the right hand, me on the left. He carried a mic stand bent into a shepherd's crook. The moment he inhaled, the entire palace inhaled with him. Who calls me? He asked, and his voice was the scuff of boots on concrete and the low motor of a heart that refuses to stall. Watchman Rap struck his halberd twice. They pushed me Rap. The hall requires your measure. The figure, they pushed me Rap, tilted his head toward Anonymous, searching him like a sample looking for the bar it came from. Then he snapped the mic free. House, he growled, drop me the floor. The floor obliged a spare beat, iron and gravel. And he began, I ain't cold, I'm cauterized. I ain't closed, I prioritized. I ain't stone, I stabilized. You push a man long enough, he stops apologizing. Every syllable landed like a mallet on a church bell. Whisper Rap tried to hum back, but their vapor mouths filled with dust. Joy Rap swayed, half smiling. Anger Rap grinned, showing teeth like broken bottle glass. They pushed me Rap circled Anonymous as he continued. First shove, they take your name and stretch it into slander. Second shove, they set your open hands on fire. Third shove, they call your armor ego when it's only bandage wire. But hear me, I'm not indifference. I'm distance. I'm not absence, I'm fence. I'm the line you build to keep your soul from hoping where it's gone and gone again. He stopped before Anonymous, a breath apart. Truth. Anonymous's throat worked. He wanted to say no, wanted to insist he was above it untouched. But his shoulders hurt with the honest weight of long pushing. Truth, he said, quieter than a brush on a snare. The hall reacted, some raps nodded. Others recoiled. Division Rap rolled his eyes. Empathy Rap, small, almost unnoticed in a gray hoodie, exhaled like the first relief after a cramp. From the benches, Stoicism Rap touched his temple and sent a steadying click down the room, a metronome to calm the restless. Proceed, he murmured. They pushed me Rap leaned into the crowd. You hear it, he barked. You think DGAF means dead heart. But this man's got a flame he keeps in a fist because every time he opened his palm, wind stole it. A hush fell. Even Anger Rap stopped popping his jaw. Anonymous stepped onto the stage. It moved under him, adjusting to his weight, finding his music. He could feel the groove that belonged only to him. the one the world had tried to drown out in the noise of its opinions. He looked at the swarm of whisper rap and spoke into the mic voice steady. I didn't stop caring, he said. I stopped letting the careless decide what my care should cost. Palace paused. The line went out like a net. Whisper rap faltered, then hissed. Pretty words. He'll set them to melody and sell them. Freeze, warm, freeze. He's nothing but a thermostat of pride. An ache tugged in Anonymous's ribs, old, familiar. He almost turned to anger rap. It would be easy to let anger spit for him, burn the benches smooth. But in the corner he caught love rap watching, not smiling, not pleading, just present, bells at the ankle quiet as patience. They pushed me rap, lifted a palm the size of a verdict. Let him work, he said, and even Division rap obeyed. Anonymous closed his eyes. Inside, the city's clamor became a single long hallway lined with closed doors. Behind each door, a version of him tried to explain himself to people who didn't intend to listen. He didn't go to those doors. He walked to the end of the hall, kicked open the exit, and stepped into a night made of bass. He opened his eyes and rapped soft but clean. I trimmed my circle to a prayer. I kept my warmth where hands were fair. If I'm quiet, call it air I save for those who choose to care. A beat of silence, then joy rap laughed, one bright note honest. Forgiveness rap's bolt cutters sparked as if eager. Fear rap hugged his elbows, uncertain but listening. Guilt rap rattled his chain. But what are the ones you shut out, he moaned. What if you were too hard, too late, too loud? Anonymous faced him. Then I will apologize where life calls for it, he said. But I won't apologize for closing doors that only ever opened on storms. They pushed me, rap's mouth twitched. It might have been approval. You're not here to make a monument to not caring, he said. You're here to make a sanctuary for what you still do. The torches brightened a hair. Somewhere in the rafters, memory rap took notes in a ledger that smelled like rain on dust. A rustle swept the benches as a new figure arrived. Pressure rap, shoulders broad as a press, forearms stamped with deadlines. He set down a crate that clanked like obligations and stared at Anonymous. You call me by living, he said. I stack, I stack, I stack, and when they push you, I push you too. Anonymous walked to the edge of the stage. I know your weight, he answered. Pressure rap gestured at whisper rap. They are my whispers. They live in the space between what you owe and what you are. They say hurry. They say impress. They say don't care is a crime and care is a contract. They're noisy, Anonymous said. They're loyal, Pressure replied, almost fond. They've kept more men moving than courage has. They pushed me rap, stepped between them, eyes slitting. Pressure, back up half a bar. The boy is not asking to be free from you. He's asking for a rhythm that isn't a choke. Pressure rap considered, then nodded and slid 2 steps away. The air loosened imperceptibly like a collar button undone. From the hall's far door, a small procession entered, Boundaries rap with a silver tape measure, Patience rap carrying a stool, and Craft rap rolling in a battered case of tools. They arranged themselves without hurry. Craft rap popped the case and laid out instruments that were not instruments. A schedule, a glass of water, a pair of shoes that didn't hurt. Set, Craft asked. Set, Boundaries answered, and drew a soft line on the stage around Anonymous's feet. A circle meant not to trap, but to define. They pushed me rap, tapped the mic. House, he said, stripped the beat down to bones. The palace obliged, kick, space, a spare frame where words had to hold their own weight or fall. Now, he told Anonymous, say the sentence that keeps the flood from thinking it's the ocean. Anonymous inhaled slow. He could feel the line under his soles. He could feel the room's eyes, some kind, some cold, most curious. He thought of the voices that had chased him all the way here, calling him heartless for closing windows they kept climbing through. I care, he said, and his voice didn't tremble. Just not like you want me to. The line landed with the force of an anchor that finally found bottom. Whisper Rap tried to twist it. Careless, careless, but the palace didn't let them. The sentence had weight. It made a shape in the air. From the benches, Order Rap set a stone on a scale. Chaos Rap tossed in a wind. The scale wavered, then balanced. Joy Rap clapped, the sound like sun on water. Anger Rap cracked his neck, oddly satisfied, as if someone had finally punched back with precision, not rage. Empathy Rap's eyes shone. They pushed me. Rap lifted his mic in salute. First truth spoken, he rumbled. The palace hears. Above them, the ceiling peeled back into constellations of LED and old stars. A breeze moved through the hall, smelling like fresh notebooks and sweat after work well done. Love Rap took 2 quiet steps closer, not to claim anything, not to fix, simply to be within the circle's edge, bells whispering approval. Pressure Rap cocked his head. Can you work like this? He asked. With the circle, with the space. I must, Anonymous said, or I'll work for noise. Craft Rap slid him a simple pen. Then write what you will keep, she said. Before the whispering fills your pockets again. He took the pen. On the black face of the stage, he wrote, my time is an altar, not a buffet. The words glowed. Memory Rap's pens twice to capture it, and the letters sank into the vinyl like a groove cut into a record. The palace had a new track now. Whoever stepped here after would feel that sentence underfoot and walk different. They pushed me. Rap slung the crook of his mic stand over his shoulder. This part of me stays with you, he told Anonymous. Not to make you hard, but to make you clear. When they shove, I'll keep your feet. When you need to open, I'll set the hinge. Will you leave when I don't need you? Anonymous asked. They pushed me. Rap considered, then smiled with one corner of his mouth. No one ever stops needing good fences, he said. But fences can learn to be gates. The torches lifted a half step brighter. Watchman Rap struck his halberd once, rhythm of approval. The benches began to murmur again, but the murmurs were different now, less swarm, more conversation. Whisper Rap retreated to the rafters to sulk, a storm cloud trying to remember why it started raining. Trial of first entrance complete, Watchman Rap announced. Proceed to the inner corridors when ready. The next measure waits. Anonymous looked toward a hallway where the light turned softer, not dimmer, as if it respected privacy. In that glow, he could already feel the presences waiting. Indifference Rap with the cool eyes of self-control. Vulnerability Rap, thin-skinned and brave. Loyalty Rap with a spine like a flagpole in high wind. He gripped the pen. He took one long breath. He stepped off the stage, and for the first time in months, the word they had hurled at him didn't stick. It slid off and cracked on the tile and became what it had always secretly been, a crude way to say you chose your soul over our approval. Inside his chest, a tempo steadied, kick, space, and he walked toward the corridor where the next voice was already clearing its throat to rhyme.
Professor Rap presents Yo Neo, the Network of Elevation by
RP Radio, Chapter 1, The Digital Hub Awakens. The lights of the city flickered, not from power lines, but from the restless energy of people, dreamers, workers, creators, hustlers, and neighbors, all searching for connection. Professor Rapp adjusted his glasses, tapped the mic, and leaned in like he was about to reveal the secret formula hidden in plain sight. Class, he said, his voice carrying the rhythm of a street preacher and the wisdom of a business sage. The world has shifted. We don't live in isolated corners anymore. The true wealth, it ain't just cash, it's community. And let me introduce you to the hub where community meets business and business meets opportunity. Welcome to Umyo Network. The projector behind him flickered to life. Images rolled across the screen. Families at kitchen tables, students huddled over laptops, small business owners unlocking storefronts. Young artists recording tracks in home studios. Look close, Professor Rapp continued, pacing the room with a grin. What do you see? Residents supporting businesses, businesses supporting residents. A circle, a cycle, a rhythm. That's the heartbeat of yo. He snapped his fingers and the slide changed to bold letters. Your digital hub for community and business. Let me make it plain. This ain't just a website. It's a movement. Inside Umyo, you don't just scroll. You build. You don't just like posts. You earn opportunities. You don't just consume. You create and you elevate. The audience leaned forward. Students whispered each other. A local barber raised his brow. A cafe owner crossed her arms but couldn't help smiling. Think of it like this. The neighborhood block party got upgraded. Instead of only food and music, now there are prizes, job listings, digital services, podcasts, radio shows, and 30-plus hubs, all connected, all working together. Whether you're a lawyer, a doctor, an influencer, a high school student, or a local restaurant, you got a seat at this table. Every movement starts with a step, and your step, it's simple. Sign up, because Umyo ain't asking you to just join. Umyo is asking you to belong. When you belong, you don't just benefit, you give back, and together we rise. The room pulsed with applause, not loud at first, but steady, growing, like a drum beat swelling into a march. This is just chapter 1, the awakening. But stick with me because I'm about to show you chapter by chapter how this network transforms lives. And by the time we reach the final page, you won't just understand Umyo, you'll be inside it, living it, elevating with it. Class dismissed. But your journey with Umyo has only begun. Chapter 2. The Promise of Neo. Behind him, 3 words stretched across the board in bold electric strokes. Earn, create, elevate. Class, let me break it down for you. Too many platforms out there want you to give your time, your data, your dollars without ever giving back. But, it's different here. Earning ain't a bonus. It's baked into the system. Every week, $5,500 in prizes. Every month, a $20,000 video contest. That means while you scroll, post, or participate, you got a chance to walk away with more than just likes. You walk away with something real.
Professor Rapp, you mean people actually get paid?
Paid, recognized, elevated. You put in your energy. Umyo gives it back. That's the earn. Now, this one right here. This is where your soul breathes. Umyo gives you the stage, podcast, radio slots, TV distribution on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, 30-plus hubs waiting for your talent. Lawyers, doctors, musicians, students, creators. Don't just watch content. Make it. Don't just dream, stream it. With Umyo,
creation ain't confined to a notebook or a bedroom mic. Your vision can hit the airwaves, reach your city, and circle the globe. That's create. This is the climb. You don't stay where you started. Every connection, every hub, every collaboration, it's designed to lift you higher. Businesses grow because residents support them. Residents grow because businesses give back. Students elevate into leaders. Creators into entrepreneurs. Dreamers into doers. Umyo ain't just a platform, it's a ladder. And the rungs, they're made of community. Neo means new, a new way to build, a new way to rise, a new way to live in rhythm with others, earn, create, elevate. That's not just a motto, that's your mission when you step into Umyo. And when you sign up, you ain't just signing into a website, you're stepping into your next level. The promise of Neo is the promise of you becoming more than you ever thought you could be. The audience erupted this time, no hesitation. Cheering, clapping, nodding heads, that's the sound of elevation. RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Cash App Rap Palace 214, Chapter 3, The Power of Hubs. The projector screen flickered off. This time, Professor Rap didn't stay at the podium. He motioned for the crowd to follow him. Class, today we're taking a field trip. No buses, no backpacks, just imagination. Step with me into the Umyo Hubs, where every community has a home and every profession has a voice. The walls of the lecture hall dissolved like smoke, and suddenly the audience found themselves standing in a glowing digital plaza. Bright pathways stretched in every direction, each marked by a sign glowing with a name. Lawyers, doctors, entrepreneurs, restaurants, students, creators, and beyond, dozens more. Welcome to the 30-plus hubs of Umyo. Each one is a village, a network inside the network. Alone they shine, together they blaze. Here, the Lawyers Hub, attorneys, paralegals, and legal minds connecting with those who need counsel. You don't just search for answers, you find advocates ready to support you. The scene shifted to clean white halls filled with the smell of herbs and the hum of machines. Doctors greeted patients with warm smiles. The Doctors and Health Hub, wellness, fitness, nutrition, mental health, every strand of healing woven into one space. Residents gain guidance, professionals gain visibility, lives improve. He snapped his fingers and the tour spilled into a bustling street market. Food sizzled, music played, waiters carried plates piled high with tacos, feo, and BBQ. Hungry, the restaurant's hub feeds both stomachs and businesses. Chefs connect with customers, and customers turn into community regulars that support, season, and serve hot. Next, the plaza shifted into classrooms buzzing with young energy. High schoolers on laptops, college students rehearsing presentations, mentors guiding interns. The Students Hub, high schoolers, college kids, and graduates stepping into opportunity. Jobs, internships, ambassador programs is the training ground where the next generation learns to rise. Finally, the air filled with the sound of music and laughter. Creators held cameras, podcasters leaned into mics, dancers filmed routines under bright lights, and of course the Creators Hub, content makers, influencers, dreamers. They don't just entertain, they inspire. And here, they find sponsorships, collaborations, and distribution of platforms beyond their wildest reach. The audience looked around wide-eyed, but Professor Rap wasn't finished. He gestured to the connecting bridges between each hub, glowing golden pathways, weaving them all together. Here's the secret, class. The power isn't just in the hubs, it's in the connections between them. A doctor collabs with a podcaster to host a health talk. A lawyer partners with a student journalist to explain new laws. A restaurant teams up with a creator for a food review video. Each hub strengthens the other. He pointed upward, where the pathways merge into a single radiant network above them. That's not isolated silos, but one living, breathing ecosystem, a digital city built on collaboration. And the more of us that join, the stronger every hub becomes. The walls of the plaza shimmered and faded, returning everyone to the classroom. The audience sat in stunned silence, as if they'd walked through another world. And that was just the tour. Wait until you see what each platform inside those hubs can do for you. RP Radio. Love the content. Drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Cash App Rap Palace 2013 Chapter 4. Platforms in your pocket. Professor Rap leaned against the desk, tapping his phone like it was a treasure chest only he knew how to unlock. Alright, class, he said, voice smooth as velvet. You've walked through the hubs. You've seen the neighborhoods, the restaurants, the creators, the students. But what good is a hub without tools? What good is a vision without a stage? That's why I'm a shy Wayne. You ain't just giving you space. It's loading your pocket with platforms, 20 plus to be exact. And every single one is designed to make you shine. He held his phone up high. The screen glowed, and suddenly holographic icons filled the air above the classroom. First up, he said, pointing to a glowing mic icon. Podcast. You got a voice? Here's your megaphone. Weekly shows, talk radio, niche conversations, all broadcast and distributed across Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and 300 plus radio stations. That means your voice isn't stuck in your living room, it's coast to coast.
Episode 1. The Wound was the wave from the series, The Silence That Roared, narration by Mama Ama Rap, Spectator Rap, and Revike Rap RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Cash App Rap Palace 214A soft wind over broken glass. Footsteps echo in an empty street. Heartbeat like drums pulse slowly beneath a distant humming choir. RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Cash App Rap Palace 214 Mama Ama Rap. You ever notice the loudest healing comes after the quietest pain? Welcome to the part of the city most people stopped looking at. Not because it wasn't real, because it was too real to handle. This is Hope Street. At least that's what they used to call it. RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Cash App Rap Palace 214 SFX Shoe Scrape Asphalt. An empty bottle clinks down a gutter. Narrator. Anonymous Cherry walks alone. No aura activated, no form unlocked. Just him, the silence, and his thoughts louder than explosions. His last battle didn't end in glory. It ended in exhaustion. He had hit his spiritual ceiling. And in trying to break it, he broke something else instead. RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Cash App Rapalace 214 Spectator Rap. Dime. You ever see a warrior walk with no bounce? No rhythm, no rhyme. Y'all, he hurting. Hey, real quick though, before we get too deep, Like this video, share it if you ever had to fake strength, and comment still breathing if you're healing in silence. RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment. Share this with others and subscribe for more content. Cash App Rapalis214 narrator. In the time chamber, Anonymous had pushed past all 9 near-death flashbacks. He wasn't trying to level up this time. He was trying to escape. But even the strongest forms couldn't cover the wound he was hiding. That night he collapsed. RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment. Share this with others and subscribe for more content. Cash App Rapalis24AB Rap. Now hold up, son. You can't cast your spirit in gold and call it healing. You can't outpunch a memory. This ain't about power. This about peace. RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment. Share this with others and subscribe for more content. Cash App Rapalis214 sound. Wind rustling sacred leaves. A slow heartbeat drum resumes. Mama Emma rap. I seen warriors glow bright, but I also seen them burn out quiet. Anonymous, baby. It's time to sit in the pain. Not fight it. It's time to let it speak. RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment. Share this with others and subscribe for more content. Cash App Rapalace214 affirmation sequence. I surrender to Yahweh. I do not fear the silence. I honor my wounds. I am not broken. I am being reformed. RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment. Share this with others and subscribe for more content. Cash App Rapalace214 donation rap. If this story cracked a wall in your heart, let it flood. Drop some love to keep the Rap Palace healing. Cash App Rapalace214. This ain't just a saga, it's soul support. RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment. Share this with others and subscribe for more content. Cash App Rapalace214 spray paint shimmers in fading light. A red phrase stares back at him. Bearman or broken. Choose. He touches the wall. It's cold, real, but somehow he feels seen. RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Cash App Rapalis214 Mama Emma Rap. Healing don't always come with trumpets, baby. Sometimes they come with whispers, with silence, with the courage to pause and let the roar rise inside you slowly. RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment. Share this with others and subscribe for more content. Cash App Rapalace214 closing affirmation. I am not my past. I am not my fall. I am the breath between. I am the silence that roared. Our radio. Love the content, drop a comment. Share this with others and subscribe for more content. Cash App Rapalace214 Spectator Rap. He felt that one. If you did too, run it back. Subscribe. Donate. Share this with somebody who's still breathing, but barely. Cash App Rapalace214. We gon' keep telling stories that hug your wounds. RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Cash App Rapalis214 Episode 2. The cry behind the beat from the series, The Silence That Roared, narrated by Anonymous Cherry Spectator Rap, and Mama Emma Rap, a heartbeat bass under lo-fi drums. Wind whistles through a cracked window. The faint murmur of a lonely crowd as if the city itself is weeping. RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment. Share this with others and subscribe for more content. Cash App Rapalis214 Anonymous Cherry. They used to tell me to speak up, but never asked me what my silence was saying. Sometimes I ain't got no words, just a beat, and even that beat ain't always mine. RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Cash App Rap Palace 214 SFX. Dust falling, fluorescent light flickers, echoes of laughter long gone. Narrator, this was where the Cypher Circle used to meet, where young raps came to spit bars, spill pain, and build power. Now it's just a memory stained into cracked tiles and forgotten microphones. Anonymous enters slowly, his aura faint. He touches the old boom mic stand and it falls apart in his hands. RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Cash App Rapalist 214's a spectator rap. Mic check 1 to 2. Mic broke, truth still standing. Like if your safe place became a ghost town. Share if your voice ever cracked in silence. Cash App still open for healing. Rap Alice 214 RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Cash App Rap Palace 214Q. Faint beatboxing, then voices clashing over each other. Energy thick, emotional, narrator. The last time Anonymous was here, he wasn't even trying to win. He just needed to say something without saying it. But someone else beat him to it. Shadow Rap, a new recruit from the South Block, took the mic and dropped a verse so raw it cracked the air. RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Cash App Rapalist 214 Shadow Rap. You ever cry so deep your echo gets stuck in your spine? Ever roar so loud the room stay quiet out of respect? Anonymous heard himself in that verse. He just didn't know how to respond. RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Cash App Rap Palace 214 Anonymous Cherry. I was raised on rhythm, but I ain't never learned to cry in 4/4 time. He sits in the center of the Cypher Circle. The dust dances around him like it remembers, and from his lips escapes not a verse, but a cry silent sharp. RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Cash App Rapalist 214 Mama Amma Rap. That's the healing, baby. That sound you trying to hold back. That's the roar trying to be born. RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Cash App Rapalace 214 Affirmation Interlude Mama Amma Rap. I am not weak for feeling. Anonymous Cherry. I am strong for revealing. Mama Amma Rap. I cry not to crumble. Anonymous Cherry. But to cleanse what's been crumbling. RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Cash App Rap Palace 214 RIP. This ain't just a story, it's somebody's survival playlist. If this chapter felt like closure in disguise, pass the blessing forward. Drop a seed. Rap Palace 214. Like, share, and let your silence speak too. RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Cash App Rap Palace 214. He stands in the circle once more. No mic, no form, no flat, steady beat in his chest, and the ghost of a verse he'll write tomorrow. RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Cash App Rapalace 214 Spectator Rap. You feel that? That was the cry behind the beat, y'all. The one you can't fake, can't stream, can't edit. Next time we pull up on Mama Amma's porch. Word is, she got a story about grief that turned into a garden. RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Cash App Rap Palace 214 episode summary. Theme: the healing power of expression when words aren't enough. Location: abandoned rec center, the Cypher Circle basement. Key quote: I was raised on rhythm, but I ain't never learned to cry in 4/4 time. Character growth: Anonymous allows himself to cry for the first time in years. Call to action: like, share, comment, still breathing. RP Radio: love the content, drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Cash App Rap Palace 214, Cash App Rap Palace 214.
The city was never quiet, not even when the clock hit 3 in the morning. Sirens still screamed somewhere in the distance. Tires squealed on broken asphalt. A dog barked like it was still owed dinner. South Dallas had its own heartbeat and it never stopped racing. Jeffrey Jerome Price, the streets called him 8-Ball Ice Rap, leaned his shoulder against a wall, sprayed with a dozen layers of graffiti. His chain swung low, a dull shine in the dying neon. He smirked like always, the smirk that had gotten him out of fights, into women's arms, and sometimes deeper into trouble than he could handle. His grin was armor, his jokes were smoke, but tonight both had run dry. The streets felt heavier than usual. His chest too. He dragged on the cigarette until the fire kissed his fingers and let the ash fall to the cracked sidewalk. For a moment he thought about his grandma's Bible, the one she used to keep folded open on her table. He laughed at it once. She told him, boy, God's got vaults of blessings with your name written on the lock. He laughed then, but tonight the memory burned deeper than the cigarette. That's when he saw it. Past the old laundromat with its windows busted out, past the rusted doors chained shut for years, something glowed. Not the faint yellow hum of a flickering street lamp, no. This glow pulsed green and gold, throbbing like a heartbeat. Jeffrey frowned, half drunk, half curious. Ain't no way. Must be that corner store whiskey still talking. But his feet moved anyway. The closer he got, the stronger the glow. It bled out through the cracks of the laundromat door. He pulled it open and stepped inside, crunching glass under his sneakers. The light wasn't from a bulb, wasn't from anything human. It was a vault, not made of metal, but made of light. Emerald and gold symbols swirled across its face, rearranging themselves in rhythm like graffiti alive. Tags writing and erasing themselves with invisible spray paint.
Why do I now see my pain turning into power?
Jeffrey froze. His breath hitched. Another pulse.
Why is my laughter still medicine, even after the loss?
He staggered back, clutching his chain. What the? Nah, I'm hearing things.
Why do I attract divine supply, even when I feel unworthy?
Jeffrey shook his head, trying to laugh it off. But the sound came out cracked. His throat burned. He wanted to say it was bullshit, some dream, but tears had already started. The graffiti on the walls hummed, spinning with another line. Why does my story carry the keys for others? Still trapped. He dropped to his knees. For once in his life, the grin fell off his face, and he let it. The vault thundered with light, louder than any bass he'd ever rapped over. And then the questions came like verses, each one slicing through him, remixing his soul. Why is it safe for me to walk in abundance now? Why do doors open when I step with truth, not hustle? Why does every mistake I made now shine as wisdom? Why do I feel God remixing my rhythm into a higher beat? The sound built, not just a whisper now, but a chorus. And from within that chorus rose a jingle, a song, part gospel, part trap, part lullaby. RP Radio, love the content. Drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Cash App Rap Palace 214.
Loop it, live it, lift a soul. $20 keeps a dream in control. $50 builds the frame. $100 lights the flame.
Jeffrey felt the beat vibrate in his ribs. He wasn't hallucinating. He wasn't drunk enough for that. This was real. He could almost see faces in the light, strangers, shadows, hands reaching toward him like they were funding this very moment, like their giving had pulled the vault open for him.
He laughed through the tears, shaking his head. Damn, somebody already paid in, huh? Just so Ice Rap could get a chance to walk in.
The vault pulsed harder, as if nodding. He stood, legs unsteady, but soul stronger than it had ever been. The chain on his neck glowed, no longer a weight but a crown.
Ice Rap, he whispered. Then he grinned, wild, new, unashamed. Nah, Vault Rap now.
The door sealed shut behind him, no turning back. The magic vault had claimed him. RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Cash App Rap Alice. Vault Walker Saga. Chapter 2. The first step. Inside, the vault door had sealed behind him with a sound that was neither slam nor lock, but something more final, like the last bar of a track fading into silence. Jeffrey turned slowly, eyes adjusting. He expected cold steel or prison-like interior, but what lay before him stretched beyond imagination. The inside of the vault wasn't a room, it was a city, a living cathedral of light. Columns rose into infinity, woven with flowing rivers of emerald and gold energy. Bridges arched overhead like glowing veins, and every step he took echoed like a beat dropping in an endless chamber.
Damn, this looked like somebody left Heaven's studio open.
But then he heard it. Footsteps. A figure emerged from the glow, tall and lean, wrapped in a cloak patterned with symbols that shifted like living graffiti. His face was half hidden by a hood, but his eyes cut through the dark like twin turntables spinning fire.
Welcome, 8-Ball Ice Rap. You opened the vault. Hold up. Who the hell you supposed to be? Some wizard? Some preacher?
The figure smiled faintly, pulling back his hood. He was older, his braids silvered, his jawline sharp as a razor. Across his chest glowed a medallion shaped like a key.
They call me Legacy Rap. I've been waiting. Waiting? Man, I just walked in here like 5 minutes ago. The vault doesn't open by accident.
You were marked long before you knew. The streets only gave you the nickname, but the vault knows the name written on your soul.
For the first time, Jeffrey had no comeback. His tongue fumbled, but his mind lit with 1,000 questions.
The vault speaks in rhythm. Listen, and it will guide you.
The floor beneath Jeffrey rippled. Out of the streams of light rose glowing words, shimmering in the air like lyrics caught mid-bar. They circled him, pressing questions into his heart, the same way they had when he first touched the door. RP Radio, love the content. Drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Cash App, Rap Palace, 214. Why do I trust myself more now than I ever did before? Why is my future no longer chained to my mistakes? Why does every closed door redirect me toward my true path? Why is my laughter a weapon against the darkness? Why am I chosen to show others their own vault of power? RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Cash App, Rasaraf, Palace, Kuna, 14. Jeffrey's knees almost buckled. Each line hit harder than the last, and his chest felt like a drum being played by unseen hands.
Man, I feel this, but I don't even know what to do with it.
You don't need to do. You need to walk. Each step you take in here unlocks what's been locked in you. But be warned, the vault doesn't just bless, it tests.
Tests? Like school?
Like life. Except this time you can't cheat and you can't charm your way past it.
Before Jeffrey could respond, the chamber shifted. The bridges above him shook. The rivers of light surged like storm water. From the glow, a shadow stepped forward. A mirror of himself. Same hoodie, same chain, same grin. Except the eyes were hollow, cold.
Your first trial is here. Before you can carry anyone else's truth, you must face your own.
Jeffrey stared at the shadow, his throat dry. For once, jokes failed him. The vault pulsed again. RP Radio, love the content, drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Cash App, Rap Palace, 214.
Face the mirror, claim the key. Truth unlocks what you can't see. Run no more, laugh no more. Open wide the inner door.
RP Radio, love the content, drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Cash App, Rap Palace, 214. Jeffrey clenched his fist. His shadow grinned wider. The vault hummed like a stadium about to witness a fight. And in that instant, Jeffrey knew the real battle wasn't against the city, the hustles, or the pain. The real battle was against himself. RP Radio, love the content, drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Cash App, Rap Palace, 214. Battle of the Rhymes.
As the tension reached its peak, Donation Rap and Dark Energy Rap locked eyes, each one ready to unleash their verbal arsenal in a battle of words and wit. The crowd held their breath, eager to witness the clash of titans unfold before them. Donation Rap stepped forward, his voice ringing out with confidence and determination. I bring light to the darkness, hope to the lost. With every word I speak, I break down the cost. Your dark energy may try to bring me down, but I rise above, wearing victory like a crown. The crowd erupted into cheers and applause, their voices echoing through the rap palace as they rallied behind their champion. Dark Energy Rap sneered, his eyes flashing with malice as he prepared to respond. You speak of light, but your words are hollow. In the face of darkness, you'll surely follow. I am the shadow that lurks in the night, and with every rhyme, I extinguish your light. The crowd gasped in shock. The intensity of Dark Energy Rap's words sending chills down their spines. But Donation Rap refused to back down, his resolve only growing stronger with each passing moment. I may stumble and fall, but I always rise again, for the power of hope is my eternal friend. Your darkness may loom, but it cannot prevail, for in the end, it is love that will prevail. The crowd erupted into cheers once more, their voices drowning out the darkness with a chorus of hope and unity. Dark Energy Rap growled in frustration, his powers waning in the face of Donation Rap's unwavering resolve. As the battle raged on, the Rap family joined in, each member lending their voice to the chorus of light that filled the Rap Palace. With every rhyme and verse, they pushed back against the darkness, their words weaving a tapestry of hope and redemption. And as the final notes of the battle faded into the night, the Rap family stood victorious, their unity and strength shining brightly against the backdrop of darkness. The crowd erupted into cheers and applause, their voices a testament to the power of music and the resilience of the human spirit. The Turbo Revelation. Amidst the echoes of the rap battle's aftermath, a glint caught Turbo Dumb Rap's eye, a small, inconspicuous device nestled in the corner, emitting a faint hum. It pulsated with an otherworldly energy, instantly recognizable to Turbo Dumb Rap as the Turbo. His heart raced as he realized the implications. The Turbo had the power to rewind rap battles, altering history with a mere flip of its switch. But Professor Rap remained skeptical. Impossible, he scoffed, eyebrows furrowed. Such technology defies reason. Turbo Dumb Rap, undeterred, pressed on. I've seen it, he insisted, urgency lacing his words. The Dark Energy Raps have devised a way to manipulate time itself. His siblings exchanged worried glances, grasping the gravity of the situation. We must disable the Turbo, Turbo Dumb Rap declared, resolve burning in his eyes. Before it's too late, with determination fueling their steps, the Rap family prepared for their next challenge, knowing that the fate of rap battles hung in the balance. The plot unfolds. As the chaos of battle engulfed the Rap Palace. Opportunity Rap's keen eyes scanned the battlefield for any advantage he could exploit. His gaze settled on Rich Rap, who seemed momentarily distracted by the onslaught of the Dark Triad Raps. Seizing the opportunity, Opportunity Rap sprang into action, moving with swift and silent grace to catch Rich Rap off guard. With a quick flick of his wrist, he unleashed a barrage of distracting taunts and insults, hoping to throw his opponent off balance. But his plan had unforeseen consequences. Flirt Rap, in the midst of a delicate operation to charm her way past the silencers, found herself thrown off by Opportunity Rap's antics. With a flustered blush, she stumbled over her words, her carefully crafted flirtations devolving into awkward stammers. The momentary lapse proved costly. Rich Rap's attention snapped back to the present, his gaze locking onto Flirt Rap with a mixture of confusion and irritation. In a swift motion, he delivered a resounding slap across her cheek, the sound echoing through the chaos of battle. Flirt Rap recoiled in shock, her hand flying to her stinging cheek as tears welled up in her eyes. Opportunity Rap's heart sank as he realized the gravity of his mistake, the weight of his actions heavy upon him. But there was no time for remorse. The battle raged on around them, and Opportunity Rap knew that he had to focus on the task at hand. With a silent vow to make plunge back into the fray, determined to turn the tide of battle in his favor once more.
Chapter 1. Open House at the Rivers, the Divine Chakra. Tawdy rivers shimmered inside the time chamber, twisting neon over marble floors that didn't exist yesterday. The air smelled of ozone and ink like a contract waiting to be signed. Anonymous Cherry stood at the edge of the water, his cape striped purple and black hood shadowing his eyes.
You're not the only one in the chamber anymore.
From the glow stepped a new figure, tall, trim suit cut like a realtor's open house showcase, sneakers gleaming with zero dust. His aura was a search engine flame, keywords spinning across his skin in green-blue light. Cherry Palace Empire, Zay CPE Rap.
Y'all been treating this chamber like a playground, but today, the listing just went live. And the only way out is if you pass inspection.
Inspection, bro. I already tithed my 10% and collected them views.
Views don't pay escrow. Every one of you has liens you haven't faced. That changes now.
Man, I knew it. Karma clauses. Should have read the fine print.
Like, share, subscribe, don't get denied, escrow's locked, your fate is tied.
What kind of trials we talking, son?
The chamber answered before Zay did. A giant cart, the size of a house, dropped from the sky, slamming into the marble with a thunder that rattled the tribe's bones. On its face was the Ace of Hearts, but the heart pulsed like living muscle.
The first game, Hearts, survive your emotions.
The ace split open into a doorway of blood-red light. From the shadows emerged the rest of the squad. Professor Rap scribbling theories in a glowing notebook, Spiritual Rap humming in tongues, Big Head Rap arguing with Bonnet Rap about who looked better on camera, and Jeffrey Jerome Price, aka 8-Ball Ice Rap, carrying his grandma's Bible under one arm like a weapon. He kissed the cover, grinned sideways at Slick Rico's scowl.
Guess the good book just got a sequel.
The doorway pulsed. The chamber whispered, "Enter, face your illusions, or default." Anonymized Cherry adjusted his hood. The tribe exchanged glances. Every rap, from Love Rap to Twilight Zone Rap lurking in the far dark, felt the pull. Zay CPE Rap rang a spectral bell.
Welcome to the open house of your soul.
And the first game began. Chapter 2, Pre-Approval. The Ace of Hearts yawned wider, its doorway beating like a pulse. Crossing that threshold felt like stepping into the chest of a living thing. The floor softened underfoot, then firmed again, valves closing, chambers cycling. Overhead, a script of red light scrolled across the air. Pre-approval, show your credit of soul. Zay, CPE rap, walked in first, unbothered by the cardiac thunder. Keywords rolled over his sleeves. Clarity, contract, closing. Then settled as if the chamber recognized a fellow professional. He tapped his knuckles together once. A bell you couldn't see answered.
All right, family. This is the part where you prove you can carry what you're asking for.
I can carry everything, but I'll let you carry this 5-star like real quick.
Like share, claim your chair, credit clean, or buyer beware?
We listen first, then we sing.
The space ahead shifted until it resembled a long gleaming counter, Heaven's Credit Union, with teller windows framed in stained glass. At each window stood an underwriter made of light and memory. They smelled faintly of cedar, frankincense, and new books. Their faces resembled no one, then everyone. The one in the center looked directly at Anonymous Cherry.
Applicant, declare your intent and your collateral.
Anonymous's hood shadowed his eyes. Snakechie hummed around his heart like a tuning fork. He thought of Gregory the First, of how a name can be a lock and a promise at once.
I intend to walk whole, to fight without bleeding my past on every enemy I touch. Collateral?
He paused, then lifted the memory of a hospital ceiling account of 9 close calls. The faces of the rap tribe reflected in the divine Chakratati rivers.
My choices. I pledge what I do next.
Noted in light.
A stamping sound echoed. APP pending. A red thread unwound from the ceiling and tied itself around Anonymous's wrist, warm, not tight, then sank under the skin, leaving a barely there glow.
I'll go. Intent, balance, to ride chaos without wiping out my people. Collateral mornings, no phone before the tide inside is still.
Documented, another glow thread, pending.
Intent, love without rescue fantasies. Collateral, I'll trade the story where I'm necessary for the truth where I'm honest.
Pending.
Intent, model the algorithm of devotion. Collateral, my certainty, may it be interrupted whenever humility is wiser.
Pending. Genius, rap, and night rap arrived shoulder to shoulder. Researcher rap flanked them with 3 tote bags and a scanner glare.
Intent, win with elegance or not at all.
Intent, protect while learning to accept protection.
Collateral, we'll surrender our favorite shortcuts and cite everything, even pain.
Pending. Jeffrey Jerome Price, 8-ball ice rap, sauntered up with the Bible tucked under his arm and trouble under his grin. Slick Rico squared his shoulders in the line behind him, jaw tight.
Intent, be a walking amends. I ain't perfect, but I'm paid up.
Collateral?
My jokes get first pass from my conscience. If the joke costs somebody's dignity, I'll pay cash and kindness and shut it down.
The underwriter smiled with its eyes. Pending. Bonnet rap and big head rap approached together, whisper arguing about who should speak first. Bonnet's lipstick matched the chamber's heart red glow. Big head's shades mirrored it.
Intent to shine because I am, not because somebody else dims.
Intent, to be honest about how much I like the mirror, and then learn to love the window more.
Collateral?
I'll publish the ugly drafts instead of hiding them under pretty lashes.
And I'll name envy when it sneaks in, then turn it into admiration in public.
Pending. Amani Rose the rap crossed the floor like a weather front. The air crackled violet and gold. She wore the hooded poncho with the gold rose pendant. Storms crawled up the hem like obedient cats.
Intent to bring silence to the loudest storms, to be luxury without cruelty, to correct without cutting.
Collateral?
My gift for dramatic exits. I will stay in conversations I can redeem.
Pending. Then the line thinned, and a shadow stepped into the red light. The temperature dropped a degree like a movie theater holding its breath. Twilight Zone made reality feel like it was filmed at 23 frames per second instead of 24. That's tiny, size for 9, tiny. Tutter, a tiny wrongness. Dark Ember Rap ghosted at his shoulder, smiling like a girl.
I'll post the rules of every game I invent.
We reserve the right to interpret those rules with creative warmth.
The underwriter considered them long enough to measure galaxies. Conditional pending. The stamp echoed twice, harder. A darker thread tied itself to their wrists and smoldered.
Intent, keep the table set when war forgets to eat. Collateral, my pride, where it refuses to say I need help.
Intent. Heal the room beyond my reach. Collateral. I'll rest when I want to fix, and I'll sing when I want to scold.
Pending. Toddler. Yoku Rap toddled forward, fierce in a tiny hoodie, clutching a crayon. He made an O with his mouth at the stained glass.
Intent?
Nap and juice.
Then drew a perfect circle on the gleaming counter.
Low-key, that's also my intent.
Pre-approved.
A stamp of pure light. The crayon circle glowed and rose into the air, becoming a halo that slipped down around toddler Yoku's shoulders. He giggled, then yawned so hard the floor rippled.
See, the kid's paperwork was tight.
Sip your grace, guard your pace. Pre-approval in this place.
The teller windows dimmed, then brightened twice.
Collateral accepted, intent recorded. But faith flows in habits. The chamber will audit your days.
Behind the teller counter, a series of glowing doors inflated like lungs. Above each, a title appeared in living script. Switch cycle. Day. When thought audit rev IQ module. Permission granted glam shack test. Stage or soul.
3 rooms. Pick the one your pride hates the most.
Genius Rap pointed at the thought audit door with academic hunger. Night Rap aimed for permission granted, jaw set. Researcher Rap chose stage or soul with a sigh, already composing an ethnography of self-delusion. Anonymous stared at the 3 titles and felt an old gravity dragging at his ankles. Gregory the First. The name was a safe house and a deadbolt. He swallowed, glanced at Mama Amarap. Her nod was small, but it landed like a vow.
Stage or soul?
Brave or fashionable?
I'm going where they check your thoughts. About time I evicted a couple freeloaders up here.
I'll go where permission's granted. I'm tired of asking shadows for a hall pass.
Thought audit for me. I want to monetize my better ideas before my worst ones pitch a brand deal.
Fine, permission. But I swear, if the module ain't got a VIP tier...
The 3 doors hissed open. From behind the counter, the underwriters lifted their palms in blessing. The blessing wasn't dramatic, it was precise. Something like a tuning finally found. Zay touched the air just above the marble. A schematic unfurled, an architect's drawing of the next hour. Little avatars moved along the blueprint. Love Rap's icon pulsing at the thought door. Civil Surfer Rap pacing like tide along permission. Professor Rap hovering between all 3, wishing to audit and grant and stage simultaneously.
Remember, pre-approval is not funding. You must underwrite yourselves, then close. Word is escrow. Action is cash.
Anonymous stepped toward Glam Shack test. Stage or soul, the portal breathed. For a moment, one bright, painful moment, he saw a boy version of himself in a library aisle, staring at a book that wouldn't stop falling. A soldier version pushing through pain. A brother holding a hand in the wreckage. A man with a cape that remembered him braver than he felt. He lifted his chin.
Permission granted.
Showtime.
Anonymous crossed the threshold. The chamber swallowed him into a room made of mirrors that weren't mirrors at all, but scenes expecting him, stages he'd built to survive. One of them wore the first name like a lame jacket, tight and flashy. Another wore silence like a knife. From far behind, the permission door blinked gold, and the thought audit door rang like a small bell in a deep well. The tribe divided, then braided, each moving toward the habit that could save or sink them. Zay CPE Rap remained in the heart of the chamber, eyes closed for a heartbeat, listening to the skittering math of reputation and prayer. He felt movement in the escrow, dark ember whirring the knot, twilight zone practicing how to post rules without revealing truth. And he widened the field, slow and sweet, until their mischief met a cushion of consequence. The underwriter at the center window touched a ledger pen to the counter. Audit commenced. The air wrote. Then the ace of hearts beat harder, and the door sealed with a hush like silk. Opening prayer. And And so, we do acknowledge the forces of light, asking for guidance, direction, and courage to know the truth, as it is revealed for our highest good, and the highest good of everyone connected to us. Oh, Holy Spirit of God, protect me from all forms of self-centeredness, and direct my attention to the work at hand. Help me to know myself in the light of the Akashic Records, to see myself through the eyes of the Lords of the Records, and enable me to share the wisdom and compassion that the masters, teachers, and loved ones of me have for me. The records are now open. Closing prayer. I would like to thank the masters, teachers, and loved ones for their love and compassion. I would like to thank the Lords of the Akashic Records for their point of view. And I would like to thank the Holy Spirit of Light for all knowledge and healing. The records are now closed. Amen. The records are now closed. Amen. The records are now closed. Amen. PA 165.
The warning. The studio pulsed with the hush of patience. Only the steady hum of the equipment and the faint crackle of Donation Rap's soundboard filled the air. He adjusted the faders with practiced hands, but his grin was thinner than usual. His jingles always carried swagger, but tonight he moved with urgency, as though the whole city depended on the wires and knobs beneath his fingers. "Station's hot," he said, his voice breaking the silence like a cymbal strike. He leaned back, pointing at the mic. "Spiritual rap, whenever you're ready." The man in the shadows stepped forward, his presence dragging the air heavy around him. Spiritual rap didn't fidget, didn't hesitate. He placed his palms around the mic, lowering his head as if the moment were sacred, as if words themselves carried a weight too dangerous to wield casually. When he finally spoke, his voice was a slow thunder rolling through the city. Rap Tribe, nothing else. Just those two words, and already the speakers trembled. Already the listeners across the city felt a shiver crawl their spine. RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Cash App Rap Palace 214. The broadcast. "I do not come tonight for comfort," he said, each syllable low and deliberate. "I come with fire, I come with light, I come with warning." Donation Rap's cued beat slipped under his words. A pulse like a heartbeat, distant drums echoing through cavernous silence. The link we've shared, the message we've sent, it is no small thing. It is prophecy hidden in rhythm, cipher, and vibration. The shadow moves, not loud, not obvious. It creeps, it divides, it whispers. Pride becomes its weapon, doubt its seed, division its harvest. He paused. The air in the studio thickened. Even the equipment seemed to hold its breath. Mark my words, if we forget the bond of rhythm, if we lose the unity that forged us, the shadow will not need to strike us. It will make us strike ourselves. RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Cash App Rap Palace 214. The listeners across the city, Rap Tribe members listened, each in their own corner of life. In a cramped kitchen, Mama Rap froze mid-stir of a pot of collard greens. The hiss of boiling water faded beneath the cadence of prophecy, her hand trembling on the spoon. She whispered to herself, "I know this rhythm, the same rhythm my grandmother warned of. The same storm she said would come again." On a rooftop gym, Goku Rap halted mid-punch against a weighted bag. His breath came sharp, sweat dripping into his eyes, but his fists lowered. He leaned toward the small speaker at his side, knuckles twitching as though the words themselves were a sparring partner. Deep in the subway tunnel, Z-Rap, hood pulled low, stood against a flickering wall of graffiti. He hadn't planned to tune in, but the echo from another rider's phone caught him. He leaned closer, eyes narrowing, the words striking him like deja vu. Study the message, share it like a torch. RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Cash App, Rap Palace 214. The reflection back in the booth. Spiritual Rap's tone softened, the storm pulling back into a whisper. Close your eyes, tribe. Inhale unity. Exhale division. Ask yourself, what weakness would the shadow use against me? Where am I most vulnerable? Do not hide it. Bring it into the light, because what you reveal cannot control you. And across the city, thousands obeyed. In her kitchen, Mama Ama closed her eyes. In the gym, Goku Rap's fists unclenched. On the subway, Z-Rap's breathing slowed. The whole tribe, scattered yet connected, inhaled and exhaled in the same rhythm, tied by one voice, one warning. RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Cash App, Rap Palace 214. Donation Raps, push donation Raps, saw it, felt it. The silence was electric, alive with invisible alignment. He leaned forward, seizing the moment. Yo, family, you feel that? That's the spirit moving. That's alignment. But listen, the warning ain't just for tonight. This station, this truth, it survives because of you. Head to Umio Military site right now. Drop your blessing. Keep the mission alive. Like, share, subscribe, and donate to keep this fire moving. He smacked the jingle button. Like, share, subscribe, and keep the mission alive. RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Cash App, Rap Palace 214. The fire. The music faded and Spiritual Rap's voice returned, this time sharper like a blade cutting through the dark. The enemy that comes will not wear horns. It will not strike with fangs. It will wear comfort. It will come dressed as distraction. It will whisper temptation in the tongue you trust most. But we, the Rap tribe, are not fooled. We are trained to hear beyond noise, to see beyond mask. Study the message. Share it like a torch in the night. Because when the shadow comes, it will not face victims. It will face flames, and flames consume darkness. His eyes burned, and for a heartbeat, even Donation Rap swore the room itself flickered with firelight. RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Cash App, Rap Palace 214. The reactions in her kitchen. Mama Ama Rap pressed a hand to her chest, whispering, "Then let me burn bright." Goku Rap, fists clenched again, turned from the bag and stared at his reflection in the gym's cracked mirror. Then I'll be the flame no storm can smother. And in the subway tunnels, Z-Rap lifted his hood, eyes wide. A flicker of defiance sparked in him, one he hadn't felt in years. Darkness can try me, he muttered, but it can't consume me. RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Cash App, Rap Palace 214. The closing back in the booth. Spiritual Rap leaned close, lowering his voice until it was almost a whisper. Stay ready, tribe. The warning is only the beginning. Donation Rap hit the final fade. The static melted into silence, leaving only the echo of prophecy hanging in the air like smoke after fire. And across the city, the Rap tribe carried that silence with them, heavier than any beat, louder than any song. RP Radio. Love the content, drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Cash App Rap Palace 214. The Rap Palace Chronicles. Behind the mic. Beyond the Story Scene 1. Donation Rap meets Twilight Zone Rap. The camera pans in on a dimly lit warehouse filled with warped clocks and shadows bending against the walls. Twilight Zone Rap leans back in a chair, smirking at Donation Rap. Donation Rap. Viewers wanted to know, do you regret walking away from the rap tribe? Twilight Zone Rap. Regret, no. But the comments from these viewers, they make me think. Maybe my reality isn't the only reality worth shaping. A screen behind them flickers, revealing a live fan submission. Carmen Dela Cruz, 31, Manila, Philippines. Watching Twilight Zone Rap made me confront my own chaos. He scares me, but he reminds me of the parts of myself I try to hide. That mirror is painful, but necessary. Twilight Zone Rap looks away, almost uncomfortable, then mutters, "Mirrors crack, but they also reflect." RP Radio, love the content, drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Scene 2, Researcher Rap's response is the library of the time chamber. Donation Rap finds Researcher Rap buried in scrolls. Donation Rap. Viewers say your whale song moment broke them open emotionally. Did you expect that? Researcher Rap. Honestly? No. That breakdown was raw. But if it gave someone else permission to break and rebuild, then it was worth it. Viewers respond directly. Jamal Peters, 22, Atlanta, Georgia, USA. When Researcher Rap cried, I cried. I had never seen a man admit confusion like that, and it made me feel less alone in my depression. RP Radio, love the content, drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Scene 3, Night Rap Under Fire. In the training yard, Donation Rap corners Night Rap mid-spar. Donation Rap. Night Rap. Some viewers say your armor of denial feels like them avoiding love. What do you say? Night Rap. Armor protects, but it also traps. I see now my steel was suffocating me. These viewers, they're reminding me to take it off. Fan voice cuts in. Sofia Martinez, 28, Madrid, Spain. Night Rap's armor was my walls in relationships. Hearing him admit the suffocation, but that cracked my shell open. RP Radio, love the content, drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Scene 4, the Evil Rap family responds together. Donation Rap sits the Evil Rap family on one couch for a rare joint session. Twilight Zone Rap, Dark Ember Rap, and others exchange sly looks. Donation Rap. Viewers want to know, are you villains? Or just misunderstood? Dark Ember Rap. Villain is a label. Misunderstood, maybe, but our chaos has truth in it. If it helps viewers see their shadows, then maybe we're more than what the tribe calls us. Viewer submissions play. Amara Johnson, 19, London, England. The Evil Rap family scares me, but they also show me my own anger. It's like they say the things I don't dare admit. Hiroshi Tanaka, 35, Osaka, Japan. Watching them made me confront my resentment at people who left me behind. Their chaos was my chaos. It gave me language for my rage. RP Radio, love the content, drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Scene 5, Donation Rap closes the day backstage. Donation Rap stares at the camera, visibly moved. Donation Rap. Every viewer letter proves something. These stories aren't just entertainment, they're medicine. Whether it's Night Rap's armor, Researcher Rap's whale songs, or even the Evil Rap family's chaos, these voices are healing lives across the globe. Keep sending your stories. You are as much a part of the Rap tribe as anyone on this stage. The article ends with a Rap Palace jingle softly fading. Infinite Spirit, open the way for our great abundance. Keep the stories flowing. Keep the love growing. RP Radio, love the content, drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Behind the Cipher, special feature, When Stories Become Mirrors, by Rap Palace Media staff. The cameras fade in on Donation Rap standing in front of a glowing mural painted across the Rap Palace walls. Portraits of both the Rap tribe and the Evil Rap family. The mural shifts with the light, showing harmony on one side, chaos on the other, and a winding path that merges them in the center. This is no ordinary feature. It's a reflection of how the audience's lives have intertwined with the saga. Donation Rap leans into the mic, his voice carrying weight, but also warmth. Donation Rap. Tonight, it ain't about battles, powers, or palaces. It's about the people. The viewers who tuned in, who cried, who healed, who stood up stronger after seeing these stories. They sent us their words, and now they gon' speak. Welcome to the special feature, When Stories Become Mirrors. RP Radio, love the content, drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Scene 1. The soul of the streets, a spotlight shines on Carmen Alvarez, 30 Wonks, New York, USA. She sits in a modest chair, wearing a Time Chamber hoodie. Carmen. When Genius Rap broke down, crying during his training with the Hawk Spirit, man, I saw myself. I was out here juggling 2 jobs, raising my son, feeling like I was failing. But the way he owned his weakness, it gave me permission to not be perfect. It changed how I looked at myself as a mother. That episode made me breathe again. The camera cuts to Genius Rap watching from backstage. His eyes glisten. Genius Rap. Carmen, you don't know how much your words mean. I used to think my breakdown was weakness on screen. But hearing you, that was strength. We carry each other. RP Radio, love the content, drop a comment, share this with others, and subscribe for more content. Scene 2, Healing and Harmony, the set shifts. Ravi Patel, 22, Mumbai, India steps into frame. He bows respectfully, wearing headphones around his neck. Ravi, the Harmony Lockdown arc. It broke me down. I had anger inside from fights with my family. But when Night Rap had to take off his armor of denial and finally face his own pain, I did the same. That night I wrote my father a letter. We hadn't spoken in 2 years now. We shared tea every morning. Rap Tribe taught me reconciliation. Night Rap nods, removing his own stage armor prop. Night Rap, Brother Ravi, you put down a heavier armor than I ever wore. Respect to you.